to get a real value for the earrings once the factual issues are resolved, because we're going to get a judgment from a judge that these are the only earrings, or we're going to get a judgment that there's two, and then the case will go in a different direction. I just have to finish the work. And in the meantime, someone's going to be happy that they get to wear nice things. That's it. It's like not that complicated. And I'm shocked why everyone's speculating. Not one person, David, called and said, hey, what's the story with this purchase? Why did you do this? Like, don't you think it's good to ask people? And then you can either agree with my reasoning or not. But I mean, don't you want to get it directly from the buyer's people?
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up while you're here, because
yeah, you're the only one. I mean, that's why I was excited when I heard you talking about it. It was so unbelievable that you wrote me, because I didn't get upset, but I was like, this person is like judging me and without even giving me the benefit of a phone call. And I was so nice. It went on a show. It wasn't a big show. I still did a favor. She was up closer to my East Coast office. And, you know, I was surprised, but then I saw you and you were like, no, I mean, you had all these great reasons about other people wearing them in my family. And I was like, this guy doesn't seem to be drinking the Kool-Aid. And then your producer called me and said, hey, you want to go on and go over some of these issues? And I said, great, you know, but that's how we got to here. But this has never been aired before at all. And, you know, the story is unfolding. Like, it's a fluid case. I mean, now that there's 2 indictments, I got to deal with that. I mean, there's a lot going on, right?
Yes, I did not ride you. I truly see nothing. I mean, now that you explain this, I never, but even if you didn't have all these other reasons to have standing and all of that, which makes complete sense. I mean, if you can afford it, why not buy it? It says, I mean, they're open to the public. I mean, same thing with the house. Yes. If you can get a good deal, like, to your point, when something goes into like a bankruptcy sale on like a house, it's always undervalued. So who wouldn't want to just go and buy all of that? Let's go down the line.
Yeah, and I can tell you the appraised value is a lot more than the purchase value of this purchase. Also, you know, someone could easily say, no, he bought it because she was rude to his wife. She used extremely disgusting profanity, and she kept emailing her that I'm going to not be faithful like her husband. I'm going to turn into her husband. All these crazy things. I don't steal from my clients. So I don't know what she's talking about, that I'm never going to be like her husband ever, because I don't need to take other people's money and I live within my means. So no, respectfully, that's not fair or true. But yet imagine, David, your partner, someone's emailing them on Instagram and saying all these bad things about you, and they don't even know you, and creating doubt in the relationship. That could have been my single motivation, to teach her a lesson. But that wasn't my motivation, because I don't buy things out of anger. But someone else felt like when they got them, they were like, hey, well, that's my motivation and are my feelings, and I'm going to do whatever I want. And who am I to tell them what to do? I don't get involved in that. And so they're having fun on their page, posting pictures and whatever, you know, but it has nothing to do with me. And I don't control people, and it's all for fun. I mean, some people are like, I love the pettiness. I wish I could be this petty. I mean, how many people in the world could say they were insulted by a famous person who then had their prized jewel earrings auctioned off against their will, where they fought savagely to keep those earrings, and then the lawyer that's been talking about them and pursuing them ended up acquiring them for himself or a client and controlled them? That's a pretty good story. And then, you know, so you could pretend that it's obsession, you can pretend on whatever you want, but in reality, you know the truth. You're not happy they ended up back there, and then they were posted with a thank you and a sarcastic, potentially sarcastic Instagram or whatever, or hey girl, I got you back, you were really embarrassed me, but look who's wearing the jewels. I mean, all that, you know, of course it's petty, of course it's stupid, but Instagram's stupid and petty, and a lot of this is fun. Like I've deposed Erika for 8 hours. There was not one bad word said. Very professional. She answered all my questions. There's no real animosity there. I wanted to settle with her. Why would I be mean to her? Like, everyone gets confused. Like, there is no animosity. If I was obsessed with her, I'd be doing things that were not appropriate. I'm not obsessed with her. It's just I like the facts of the case, because how many times, David, in your career do you see an invoice for $750,000 with 2 descriptions of the rocks, and then a check number, and then 2 GIA certs, and they're not the invoice, the earrings that were turned over to the trustee pursuant to a federal court order. It's never happened to me in almost 30 years. It'll never happen again. So it's an interesting story. Aren't you interested to know why those earrings don't match the invoice?
Yes. I mean, you take something that's so convoluted to begin with. It's just one of those like, man, this is not, it's like, you couldn't make this up if you tried. It's like, it's insane. Yes. It's actually
you
insane.
let your wife go on a TV show and made her a public figure and let her talk about how rich she was, how great she was. Meanwhile, you stole $25 million approximately, at least. The government says 15 in their indictment, on one indictment, and 5-6 million in Chicago that were already at 20 million, and paid $25 million for your wife to be a singer, to be an actress, to have all the accoutrements, and you're upset that people are talking about it. That's salacious. It's interesting. It's unusual. Lawyers don't typically do that. And she's on a reality show spending on. Then instead of taking the position, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I'm turning over everything, I don't want any of this stolen money, like the retired justice did. She gave back every gift. Remember that. She's taking the position, it's all mine, it's all me, I can do whatever I want, and too bad, and all of her funny sayings. Okay, that creates interesting television, it creates interesting discussions, and we're all allowed to talk about it. You went on TV and put yourself out there, we could all discuss it. And it's all of we have a right to that thirst, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's part of the social fabric of Southern California at this point, because this has never happened before and will never happen again, where your wife was on the show with you and all the money, or a lot of it, was other clients that you should have been paying your settlement. And don't ask me, ask the 2 separate sets of prosecutors that independently reviewed this and said they both stole client money in 2 different jurisdictions. So it's not just me anymore saying it. Now the federal government is saying it.
Well, I split my time now between LA, I'm in LA right now, and New York City. So anytime you want to invite me to sit in the room while you depose Erika, I'm right down the street from you at least 50% of the days. So
good. That's great.
Being a lawyer, your reasons are your reasons. I mean, I wouldn't even hold it against you if it was just a fuck you for, she did say all that stuff about your wife and, and I've read it all. So to me, I wasn't so like, someone really came after me, I mean, I don't go looking for enemies and I don't get incited, but when you do incite me and it's like personal, I'm not so sure that that's something I wouldn't do. I would have probably bought them just as the FU personally. So you have a lot better reasons than me.
And that's true. I did have, my first instinct was that, but you don't spend that kind of money for just an FU. There has to be a business reason or some other reason. I like that there's multiple reasons.
Yeah, it's like a win-win.
It's not just one thing. And I have a lien on the estate. I get 35 or 40%, I think, of everything that's recovered. So I want, the trustee to win the appeal.